Hello, everybody, and welcome to Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of movies we haven't seen based on nothing but their weird descriptions. And this week, at the end of the week at least, it's Easter, which means we're going to do another one of our patented special episodes.
Themed.
Brantley, you've pulled up some themed Easter movies, hopefully that I haven't seen. Take us through them.
Well, first up, we have one that I picked solely because of the title, and that is Easter Bunny, Kill Kill! Exclamation points after those three.
Is this like a imperative? Like
Easter Bunny, exclamation point, kill, exclamation point, kill, exclamation point.
Okay.
So you ready?
Yeah, I think. Maybe not. Go, though.
A sleazy con man torments a mentally handicapped youngster who's obsessed with Easter.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it stopped being fun, right?
Wow, no, yes, this is not okay.
Only to incur the wrath of a murderous lunatic in a frightening rabbit mask.
Is the murderous lunatic the guy he was tormenting the whole time using another persona?
Probably not, I don't know.
That's my read on that. Okay.
Remington is a violent sleazebag of the lowest order.
Wait, why does everybody have to be a sleazebag and a con man and mentally handicapped?
Because this movie's real and gritty. With guy in a rabbit mask murdering people.
Are there good people in this movie besides the sort of default mentally handicapped kid?
After gaining the trust of a lonely single mother, so probably her.
Okay, yeah.
He leaves her gentle son Nicholas in the care of a child-molesting drug dealer.
Why? What? This is not fun!
While he heads out to party with some hookers. Easter!
I thought that there's a movie that I saw, I forget, Stitches, where there was like, it was sort of about a vengeful clown coming back and it was just all mean-spirited and everybody was unlikable. And I was like, this is like the worst. But I assumed that they were going for that. This, I hate at my core with every fiber of everything that I am. It's got like...
There is more.
No, there can't be more. No.
Meanwhile, Nicholas forges a bond with his new pet bunny that helps him deal with the debauchery that's taken over his life. That's good. That's happy.
I'm going through training to be a foster parent right now.
Yeah,
and
you
so
are.
I'm exposed to like the real life version of this.
Mm-hmm.
Of, hey, some people suck. It's not most people. It's not even a lot of people, but it's enough people.
The ones that do really suck.
Yeah, where like you're going to hear about them and you're going to just sort of hate everything about the world for a little bit about your life. And this isn't funny or interesting or worth exploiting at all.
Later, Nicholas' abusers all begin falling prey to a malevolent killer with a bunny mask and a bitter grudge.
Okay. Wait, so Nicholas is the slow kid.
Nicholas is the gentle kid. He's probably the mentally handicapped kid, but
it sounds like they're sort of repeating the like what you had at the beginning again with more synopsis again.
I mean, it doesn't say that Remington's a con man. Well, he gains the trust of the lonely single mother, so it might be. But it also sounds like that's the cold open, kind of. And like this is a really twisted superhero movie. It's like Batman with a rabbit mask in the real world where he's willing to just murder people.
Yeah. This is...
You don't sound like you're enjoying this.
I'm not. This is everything wrong.
You want to move on?
Recently, by the way, I mentioned this a couple episodes ago. There's a trailer for a movie called The Book of Henry.
Yeah.
Where like it's about, first of all, it sort of just fetishizes how smart this kid is, which annoys me. It's like, we've got uber smart kid in our movie. He's so smart. All right, that's already kind of an annoying trope for me. And then they go on, like, his best friend that he knows, this girl in school, is getting molested by her father, and he's the only one who can help with the help of his mom.
It's one of those when they just, like this movie where they just load on all the crap, terrible things going on in the life that you could into a movie.
Yeah, from Colin Trevorrow, director of Jurassic World.
And it's like, now sit down and enjoy your escapism.
Yeah, what is...
Thumbs up with a smile. All right, next up, because we're going to move on.
Yeah, let's get away from the ick. Is it less ick this time, Brantley?
Yes.
Good.
Question mark. Little Witches is our next movie.
All right.
6 misfit schoolgirls at an all-girl Catholic high school, left alone at the school for Easter week. I don't know why. Great parenting.
Yeah, well, maybe something bad happened to their parents or, I don't know.
get mixed up with the occult and witchcraft after an old satanic temple is found underneath the church.
Oops!
Someone didn't plan this building out. Where they attend, as well as an old book of black magic spells for conjuring up an ancient demon from the pits of hell.
This is like the worst planned out school ever.
Catholic school. It's straight up a church on top of maybe it was deliberate, like we'll put a holy building here to cleanse the land, but that's just really poor planning on their part.
Also a school.
I
Maybe
mean,
the
it
school
probably
came
became a
later.
school afterwards.
Yeah. Where are they? Do you think this is like an isolated
Well, no,
area?
okay, it's a Catholic high school, and then they have a church where they attend. So that's probably like an adjacent building.
Okay, but they're staying at the school for
it's
an
probably
entire week.
It's probably fairly isolated. It's probably
What? Who's going to church
boarding
at this
school.
place?
I mean, it's probably a boarding school.
I know
where the
Catholics.
students-
I get that.
So like the nuns and the priests and like all the students probably have to go to church there.
Okay, so they built the church for as maybe a monastery kind of thing.
I mean, I'm imagining there's like the school and then the church is like an adjacent building.
I'm just trying to get a feel for the
of-
geography here because it's not. I mean, it's kind of cool if you end up with like a demon possessed place in the middle of a city, but
I'm picturing like it's a fairly out there. It's going to have like its own grounds. It's like in the New England countryside.
Okay.
Because again, I'm picturing it a boarding school where you're going to send the kids off to get a proper, respectful upbringing at this Catholic school, and then they find a satanic cult place with the Book of Black Magic.
First of all, it seems like poor planning on just about everybody's part.
Yeah, on about every level, this is poor planning.
It also, the title of this movie kind of sounds like it could be a feel-good family comedy from Disney. Little Witches, coming soon to DVD.
I think they might have one called Little Witches.
But then you're like, they find totally like an ancient pagan temple and they resurrect the demon.
Even that you could, not necessarily demon, but just like an old evil spirit, you could still have a Disney movie, and then they have to, through teamwork and happiness, get rid of the evil.
It would be like one of the older Disney movies. Weirdly, somehow I think people have become more sensitive to that stuff these days.
Yeah.
People refusing to watch like the frog, Princess and the Frog, because it's like there's a guy who uses voodoo in there. Yeah, he's the bad guy. He's using
Mama, whatever her name is, she kind of uses voodoo as well.
Yeah, but
voodoo is like
she doesn't actually act.
I mean, we only ever hear about the bad part of voodoo, which there's a lot of bad parts of voodoo, but there's also some good parts and some neutral parts, because some of the lower are just like, I'm here. If you don't bother me, whatever, do what you want.
Yeah. I'm reading a lot of mythology, and I'm trying not to go off on that rabbit trail, but Norse mythology is amazing.
It's really fun. Anyways,
yeah.
Janie, the most characteristic and cruelest of the girls, takes charge of the group and plots to resurrect the demon using a series of black art spells. While one innocent girl, Faith, because of course her freaking name is Faith, at a Catholic school dealing with witches and Satan and black magic, of course her name is Faith, has a change of heart and tries to stop them from completing their spell, which also includes a human sacrifice. Yeah, it's fairly reasonable.
Yeah, also, she's totally going to be the sacrifice.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're going to try that, and at some point they're going to actually summon the demon.
This sounds like it's going down a road to being some kind of exploitation stuff.
I saw the cover, and they're all in the Catholic schoolgirl stereotypical outfit.
Right.
And their skirts are way too short.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because that's how the Catholic church swings.
Yeah.
They totally want you to be immodest. And so it's going to have a bunch of other girls
in fairness,
sacrificing another girl to a demon.
They're alone for the weekend, so probably they only have the uniforms, but they're dressing however they want now. I don't know why there isn't like a...
No, they just tie them off like above the belly button.
Yeah.
Because they're rebellious. Except for Faith. But she's still hot.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of movie that this is. Yeah.
This movie has potential. And it's all wasted, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm going to look up this cover too now.
I feel like this is mostly wasted by the rating. Because, like you said, this could be a fun, fairly family thing.
The cover I'm looking at just has like the one girl's mean face.
Go to like images.
Yup. Doing that image search. Okay, there's a lot of people drawing little witches.
Look, go up, top row.
Yep.
Okay, start on the left picture. I'll go over a couple.
This one? I mean, that's not a movie
over
cover.
One more.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, as you can see,
They're like, okay. Yeah, this movie knows exactly who it's going for.
Yeah, it does.
This girl with the glasses has me worried, though.
I don't know if that's from this movie.
Maybe that's from the Disney version. I'm guessing that okay, yeah, I'm going to stop looking at images because that will not help anybody.
You're going to get a watch list.
Yeah. Well, not that. I'm saying because of...
Also, none of them can see it.
Yes, that's the point. The podcast medium is an auditory medium.
Hey, guys, you can look along at Google Images with us. If you're listening to this, you have that power.
You have the power! What if they download it and they're on a plane, Brantley?
Well, turn off your devices if you're landing.
Okay. Is that all for this movie, Brantley?
That's all for this movie. Finally, we have Bless the Child.
I remember seeing the trailer for this. Like, when did this come out?
I don't know. I hope you're willing to do it because that's the last Easter one I have, and otherwise this is going to be a really short episode.
No, I haven't seen it. I definitely didn't see it. But I remember watching the trailer and thinking, I think I want to see that. That was in 2000. Okay, so not super long ago.
17 years ago.
It was super long ago.
People who were
life.
born in that year are just shy of voting now. That's long enough.
Yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
Omens and concepts of good versus evil have no place in Maggie O'Connor's well-ordered practical universe.
What?
We see Maggie O'Connor.
Right, yeah.
She's well-ordered and practical. And that's how she likes her things.
But so she doesn't have room in her ordering scheme.
She doesn't believe in absolutes of good and evil. It's just there are things, and I'm not going to deal with things that are just negative. And if
they're not good or bad.
Well, no. Things are just things. It's like a dog trying to bite you. That's not an evil dog. That's just a dog who had a bad life.
Okay.
And a man trying to stab you, that's not an evil man. That's just a man who had a bad life.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you see the bad part of this rabbit hole of thought? Her life revolves around her job as a nurse. Good thing she doesn't believe in good. At a busy New York hospital until one rainy night, her sister Jenna abandons her newborn autistic daughter at her home. Jenna, you're a bad mom.
No. That's not a thing. There's no such thing as a newborn autistic person. That's not how that works. Autism doesn't present until 7 or 8 months.
I mean, it might skip forward a couple years and then she develops, or is revealed through her development to be autistic. I don't know. I don't know how soon it takes place.
Maybe that's really annoying.
Yeah, it's
that little detail just jumps out at me. It's like, I mean, it might be a genetic thing. I don't know if we understand fully the triggers for autism, but babies just aren't I don't think that there are indicators before they are able to. They don't. I mean, babies in general just aren't very sociable until they are. And
what I'm saying is it might just be bad wording where it's she takes in the baby and then her daughter is autistic, but yeah, it's not gonna be she has the baby's your baby's autistic. Well, I don't want it then. Take it back.
Okay, continue.
Maggie takes the baby in, and because she's a good relative.
No, those concepts don't exist in the universe.
She is a practical and responsible relative.
Okay.
And she becomes the daughter she never had. Could have really done better to not use that many pronouns in that sentence.
Yeah.
The baby becomes Maggie's daughter.
That she never had.
Yeah. 6 years later, she develops. Jenna suddenly reappears with a mysterious new husband, Eric, and abducts Cody.
Cody's the child?
I guess.
They didn't name her yet, but I'm going to assume that they came back and stole their baby back.
Yeah, I've never seen female Cody with a Y, but all right. Despite the fact that Maggie has no legal rights to Cody, you'd think she would.
At this point, yeah.
What's
she been doing for 6 years?
Her sister dropped her for 6 years and the aunt took care of her. Legally, I think she is...
How did she put her in school?
When
she went to the doctor, how did she sign off on her?
More, not even accepting that. I think at this point, her sister Jenna is legally not qualified to be a mom.
Yeah. There's
for ditching her for 6 years.
Criminal negligence.
And then
how about that?
I don't clearly she didn't officially adopt her niece, but she kept her for 6 years.
If she's
autistic,
leave your kid. Okay, this is also something that I know about from being in foster parent. I think that we talked about this at the beginning of the show.
Yep.
Sometimes we record these all together. Sometimes I have a trouble.
Nope. Yeah, because we were dealing with the really unhappy episode.
Yeah. If you drop your kid with somebody else and leave for 6 years, DCF will A, terminate your parental rights, and B, will try to place you with the closest relative, probably the person that she was dropped with. That's how the law works.
direct
I think
aunt,
probably
the sister of her
also
mom.
in year 2000 as well. I don't think it's changed that much in 17 years. I do get that has been a long time now, but still.
So despite the fact that Maggie has, I'm going to imagine it's all in quotes because it's all a lie, legal rights to Cody, FBI agent John Travis, an expert in the law who's probably like, yeah, you kind of do, and this is bullcrap, an expert in ritual, homicide, and occult-related crime, takes up her cause when he realized that Cody shares the same birthday as several other recently missing children. All right.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, these kids that happen to have the same birthday as Cody, I'm assuming...
I'm just going to look up how many babies are not aborted, born a day in the U.S. That's okay. Let's control for the U.S.
You like that 46,200,000?
Okay. 10,000 births daily in the U.S. So her and 10,000 other kids, let's round down to 9,000 because it was the year 2000, maybe even 8,000. Her and 8,000 other people got abducted on one in the same time.
I'm assuming it's within the same area.
Oh, yeah, possibly the same hospital. They're like, oh, dang it, guys, we lost the Antichrist. Who's one of these kids? That's the plot to The Omen, right? Like they swap him around accidentally or something?
He's born to a jackal and they get rid of the actual baby that the couple had and then replace it with Damien, yeah.
What happens to the baby?
I think they kill it.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I want like a spinoff where it's like just the other kid's normal life.
There is a Dane Cook book, Life Expectancy. Have you read that?
No.
It's this guy's life story where he finds out that the day he was born, his parents that raised him, their child was actually stillborn, but he was one of two twins born to a psychopath who they tried to not allow him to have the kids because he was crazy and his wife died in childbirth, and he went in with a gun and stole one of the babies.
Right.
And so he was just raised by these nice people.
Yeah.
And at the end, his brother grows up to also be a psychopath, but he has no emotional attachment to that one, but he eventually finds the grave where the story was buried at, and he's like, in the book, he's like, I have far more connection to this dead child than I do the man who grew up to be my brother.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah, good book.
There's also the what is the Terry Pratchett Neil Gaiman collaboration?
I have no idea.
Good Omens.
Nothing by them. Not to be confused with Omen.
Well, no, but it's riffing on The Omen.
Is that the one where the all music turns into?
Yes, all turns into Queen. Like every person's cassette in their car, because that was a thing back in the day, eventually turns into the greatest hits of Queen.
Yeah.
But the whole thing on that was that they're all fighting over the Antichrist, right? Then this kid actually is supposed to be the Antichrist, like Damien in The Omen, and he's just like, yeah, but what if not? What if I don't do that, guys?
There's a trope for that. It's the anti-Antichrist.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what Hellboy is. Hellboy is straight up the son of Satan, but he's like, nah, I'm going to punch demons in the face. Because I was raised by a Catholic man.
Fair enough.
The little girl, it soon becomes clear, is more than simply special, in quotes.
Well, that's kind of insulting to autistic people.
Yeah, it is. She manifests extraordinary...
By the way, not like the worst fate you could ever have as a human being. I understand that it has challenges, and especially like the really severe versions, but like it's become stigmatized to the point where it's like, guys, just like, yeah.
They're still just people.
They're still just people. Yeah, they have like needs and problems, and yeah, but
that's what I like how it was handled. It wasn't even really handled, but just how it was presented kind of in Fantastic Beasts: Where to Find Them. The lead protagonist that is very clearly on the spectrum.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was just quirky.
No, he portrays many of the, I don't want to use the word symptoms, but, that of the...
it is, I'm not going to say that it's not a problem, okay? Yes, it is. If you have that, life can be more difficult for you, but it's just like, it's become, especially with the vaccine thing, it's just like, and the worst ever. You don't want to get autism, dude.
Yeah, and then there's the othering involved with it.
Yeah. So, autistic people out there, you're cool too.
I mean, you're people.
It's all chill. Yeah.
Just don't be a dick, and I don't care.
So, let's...
She manifests extraordinary powers that the forces of evil, which her aunt does not believe in...
Yeah, there's no forces of evil in this movie.
...have waited centuries to control.
They're very patient. I want to see the scene where she sees like a giant demon person. She's like, "You're just misunderstood."
He's like, I am evil. No. But why do you act this way? She tries to talk it down. He's like, lady, I live off the blood of innocents and virgins. You're like,
right,
yeah.
but that's because you got cast out of heaven when you were a baby.
Yeah, but why did you do that? Really, let's get down to the root of the problem. She's not a psychologist. I don't know why I'm acting like she is. That would be amazing. A psychologist who's confronted with demons. So she's like, yeah, but why do you act this way? What's at the root of your problem? Dr.
Because
Phil.
I am the
Dr.
servant
Phil
of
versus
Satan. Listen, you can be
Oprah. I
be
know,
your own demon.
I know Oprah doesn't listen to this, but somehow make Dr. Phil fight Satan in a movie. Please?
Yeah, they never go down that route, right? It's always just like the person thinks that they're crazy and then, oh no, it's a demon. But the psychologist never says like, oh, you're a demon? So what's up with that?
I know you're
Tell me
angry.
about your childhood in hell.
I know you're angry about getting cast out, but how do you feel about that? You like my Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil, not a real doctor, by the way. Not of psychology, anyway. I think he has like an honorary, like a athletics doctorate or something. So, calling you out, man.
So her abduction sparks a clash between the soldiers of good and evil that can only be resolved in the end by the strength of one small child and the love she inspires in those she touches. Clearly not her mom.
Yeah, it's clearly she doesn't believe in good.
No, her aunt doesn't believe in good.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Her mom does. She's just a really garbage parent who ditched her kid for 6 years and then showed up with a new guy.
Yeah, the people that she touches. How about the woman who she touched the inside of for 9 full months as she was growing?
Didn't rub off there, but maybe it rubbed off on her aunt who lovingly and maybe stressfully took care of her for 6 freaking years.
I like the idea of this person just going around like hanging out with people and they just become good by being around her.
They become pleasant. Good is not a thing.
No, in my universe, I'm going to say good. Okay? I'm going to step out of the movie's interpretation.
Well, clearly you're not well-ordered or practical.
Clearly not. You can see my desk right here. All right,
I see your bag of candy.
No, that's dill pickle sunflower seeds.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see your N64.
Yeah. Also, I've got my dice on here. Lots of things I can rattle here. Anyway, I got to point out that the tagline for this movie is "Mankind's last hope just turned 6," which is pretty epic.
Yeah, that's also a really cool cover.
It's got the upside down cross thing going on.
Yeah, and then it's full of fire, and you see the little girl there silhouetted. Then you see presumably the aunt's face behind the cross,
played by Kim Basinger. I
think it's Basinger.
Yeah, however you pronounce her name. Christina Ricci's in this. You think she plays a 6-year-old?
Dude, that picture of a demon's awesome. You guys can't see it because, again, it's a podcast and therefore auditory only.
Yeah.
But Google this. You guys should Google image all the movies you talk about.
That demon's legit.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Those are CGI wings, but that looks like a dude in a suit otherwise.
It might be. I mean, it was 2000. The CGI was a lot more
That's how I can tell
then.
that those are CGI wings.
Well, that'll do it for this week. And a trio of Easter-adjacent movies. I hope that you guys are going to have a great Easter weekend. Eat as much candy as your diet will allow. And we'll see you guys next week with another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch. We'd love it if you share it with your friends. Rate us on iTunes, all that good jazz. Subscribe. And we'll see you guys later.
All right, bye, guys.